What's going on, guys? It's RPG Zeke here, coming at you with another video. This time, local gameplay. What I'm going to do this time is I'm actually not going to show deck lists, and I know some of you out there are just crushed by not being able to copy and paste a deck list. And the reason for it is as follows. You're going to be seeing these videos from August 1st. I'm going to be doing commentation over said gameplay. But the reason it's important is that deck that I was driving, as well as others, has changed a lot in terms of ratios and everything else. But I still think the gameplay is really good because you're gonna see a lot of mistakes. I know it's gonna happen, right, when brand new cards come out. But I wanted to showcase the learning aspect of like when a new set comes out and what people are trying or not trying or what makes sense or doesn't make sense. So you're gonna see a lot of misplays, no deck lists, and you're just gonna have to kind of trust me as we go through the commentary together and I kind of explain things. I hope it's entertaining. I know a lot of times I feel like people are just there for the deck list, don't want to see how things are played or what they're trying to do. But I still dressed it up for you. You'll still notice the panels and everything on the side. But yeah, I just wanted to take a minute and kind of preface this with, I had a lot of fun editing this. It kind of showcases the local scene just a little bit. There's a lot of fun decks that came out, and then you'll notice I played into quite a few things, didn't win them all, which is okay, but that's the whole point of learning when a new box set comes out. So here we go. As I live and breathe, Faded versus Cody. We got Faded on the left-hand side playing 1 Year War. Yes, these matches are sped up, and we got Cody on the right for his very first time on recorded matches playing Blue-Red Control. I sleeved it up for him so he could play something a little new at Locals. He's already doing the blue-red thing where he's shuffling, or not shuffling, he's drawing and filtering. Shuffling will come later, because that's what the deck can also do. Faded punching the EX base with the 1 attack Zaku 1. He drops a generic level 2 1 cost Zaku 2. Applying pressure as 1 Year War does. It is really funny, though, to see some kind of a use for Zaku 1. It's really funny. He does do close combat to the Zaku 2 that was deployed, so it will not punch the EX. Before he plays anything, he is going to punch the EX. Cody's tapped out, he doesn't respond, and then he drops a Rezel. Cody is sitting here wondering what he's going to do with 4 resources. I can't remember what he does here, but I want to say we don't have an improved technique right now to strip the Rezel off the board. That would be too easy, I guess. And yes, this is sped up and Cody still took this long. Good job, Cody. I'm just kidding. New deck, man. It takes time. Again, the whole point, we're not showing deck lists and stuff, is that deck is going through a bunch of ratio changes. It's not really worth focusing on it too much. But I do think it's really cool. It's a very fun list. This list was actually supplied by another player locally named Moose, which did place first in a store regional last season. And Cody finally decides what he wants to do. He's going to pay 2 for 2 fingers. And this is where, like, I think that's a misplay because that could have been 2 bodies knowing that this is an aggro deck list. I think holding that and just letting it punch. I probably would have shot the Zaku 1 and then just let the Rezel eat because it's the same outcome here, right? The Rezel's going to check the base. Maybe you had something after. But I don't know. Yeah, because see, then you would have had a finger here potentially. I don't know, man. That's a really interesting turn for sure. Because that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of resources. I don't know what's in his hand, and this is like the thing where it's like sometimes I wish I set up the camera from like the first person perspective, but you know, you do what you got to do. I do think this whole blue-red control list is a lot of fun to play. Just like not playing any units and just keeping stuff off the board and dwindling down the opponent's hands with your commands. Very interesting way to play. I will say 2 things are a little different now compared to GDO4 to GDO5. We have a lot of ways to draw now, so I can't say that the opponent's always going to have an exhausted hand or have like a spot where you could potentially punch through or be in a really good board state. But you know, you try to make it work. White base is really good in this list too, because then he can just pump 2 into it and get a token. If I was Cody, that's what I would do here and just let him eat it. You still get something out of it. Unless you're telling me you can pop the Rezel. Yeah, no, I didn't think so. Yeah, it's a long game sometimes. Sometimes you just don't have the commands in hand to like burn the Rezel outright. This list is running, was it Overwhelming Pressure or whatever? It's like spend 3 level 5 to like shoot something for 4 damage. That's really good. This super sucks because now it can just pop based on the pump from the Grandpa and the Amuro link. And then now we're just checking shields with the little weenies. And we did everything. And then, oh, he did swing into the token. I got it. And then he healed the 2, got the 1 damage on Gramps here. And then we drop a Zaku 2 once again. I don't know, man. This stuff can get really frustrating. I love this board state playing purple because now we got like Widespread Annihilation, which is such a fun card. I love that card so much. But yeah, this one's really interesting. He's asking him damage or what the HP is left. Trying to figure out if maybe we can burn that off the board or do something else. I hope it's a Marita Kshatriya link here would be super sick. I don't think we have 12 in trash yet for a Banshee link, so that's the other thing as well. Cody, making me wonder if I'm smelling toast because this is just taking so long. Sorry, Cody, we get to take jabs at this point. What are you doing, brother? Play something. For 5, we go... what to clean this up? Cool. Okay, Kshatriya link. Good stuff. Yep. I really hate this habit, too, and I feel like a lot of players do it, where they put the link in their hand and then they drop it to board. Obviously, there's a lot of units now that have, like, deploy effects that are really important, and I think sequencing is unit comes down, then do pilot. That way you don't get confused, because obviously they should not be happening at the same time. But that is something I will need to beat into locals, I suppose. Probably wouldn't have done that either because that's one card that just stays in the thing. Oh, and I think Fated's walking him through it too, so like he gets like a general idea. I say we put the pressure on because you can't let the Rezel eat you, but right now, I don't know. What would I do here? So I'd put the 2 pings on... I don't know, man. I don't know if that's it. I don't know if that's a play. Unless you can burn it here, Cody, and you're telling me that 1 resource would have been really good. And again, this is where, like, I really wish he didn't burn the 2 Darkness Fingers, because that's, like, Red's really good command right now, is level 4 1 cost, burn something for 2. Because now he's just going to check 3, and then if he pulls the link, it's over right here. 1-Year War can do every link available to it at this level, so it doesn't need to get any higher. Yep. Cool. All right, and that's the fun part about playing blue-red control. Sometimes you get the commands that kind of work in your favor. It doesn't happen every time, but when it does, oh boy. The tempo be a-changin'. And now we got a Rickdom gun tank. 4 swings. Can we clean up the 4? Probably not. But I do think we now have the 12 in trash, which means if we're holding it, we should be able to get a Banshee Marita link here. Oh, maybe we don't. God, airframe seizure, so cool, dude. Red needed that filter so bad to stay relevant. Airframe, once again, is a turn 1, level 1 play. So you can pay the 1, ditch something, and then draw 2. Still really nice to see something on the play on the first turn. Yep, and we get it. So now we got Marita with Banshee. We got the link. Pretty sure we got the 12 in trash. You get to pick your 12, obviously. It's not just the first 12 at the top. We're targeting, we do the filter. I think it was like over his shoulder, or Fated was, and we were just kind of like explaining, hey, this is how this turn order works. You can put the ping, or you can pick your 12, reshuffle that back into your deck, restand it, and now we're going through like the combat sequence. Because again, the thing you could do here is after it's restanded, you could like siege ploy it and lay that thing down so it doesn't get the second attack. But a lot of people don't play siege ploy, and that's okay. But sequencing matters for this reason. Yep, and then we swing into that. Cool, and then we got 3 bodies, all first striked. And now we cleaned it up a little bit. So now he has to draw the link here after the swing if that's not last card base. And then obviously it looks like Fate is just pretty much walking this down. It's really hard to say where like stabilizing here went well or didn't go well. I really feel like burning the 2 fingers probably wasn't the play. Because again, you're trying to look for value per body per command. And I just don't think we saw it here.
Yep, so he goes here, yep. And then he plays show, telling us he doesn't have the link. And he does finally find the link. And I remember this too, because at this point, their game was still going and my game concluded. And I came over and I was like, hey, what's going on? Round 2, baby. Gil versus me. This list is really interesting. So, like, this one, I'm, like, genuinely like, hey, Gil, let me see that list, because this thing's kind of fire. So, he's playing a blue-green G-Generation list. He really likes Reggie. That's why we got the panel on the side being Reggie and talking about Build Fighter stuff. But, yeah, Gil's, like, all about it, dude. So, he plays Nemo. It's just your typical level 2 1 cost. And we can see his hand, so, like, we can get an idea of cards here. This is just a 3/3 stat line. I think it's level 2 2 cost or level, no, it's level 3 2 cost, excuse me. But 3 attack, 3 HP, so that can crack EX. I'm over here just playing my Tekkadan slop, and yes, we did switch this box set from purple-white to blue-purple, now that there's actually like a good rhythm to it, and it doesn't just have to be an aggressive list. If you haven't noticed, I'm a big fan of control lists, or kind of breaking whatever currently everybody's playing. This is where I think I misplayed, was ditching that Kira. Again, every time I play Ryusei Go and I ping myself, I get to draw and ditch. I think I should have, regardless, just dropped a Tekkadan unit in there, because if I do see Lupus, the payoff is there. I kind of view that as like a negative ditch, but I think I did have like 2 other Kiras, or at least 1 more in hand, and I was like, this hand's too heavy. Cool, so now he links it, and so he breaks, he checks shield, show of resolve, and then he checks with Nemo. So already he's got a very good board state. We're sitting here like, oh no, what do we do? And right here is why you play purple commands, because we don't want to interact with this body over here that has the pilot underneath it. So we pay 2, we Fatal Strike it, we don't have to slam into that. We pay another 2, we get an adapt, we get to ping us, ping them. So that thing with 3 HP, we took it down to 2, and then we get to trade into all this willy-nilly, and we stabilize. So like now we've got 4 shields exposed, but I'm not in a bad way. Again, I cannot get over how good Fatal Strike feels this season, this box set. Especially with decks that just want to hang low and just like go face. I will say the G-Generation list like absolutely just links like crazy. You're going to notice Gil constantly just sets it up. Burns his EX, plays his Reggie. He gets to ramp a resource, swing in, and that card does have Breach on body, but it can't swing into actives, at least not the way it's currently set up. And so now I'm down to 3 shields, and everybody's like, oh, game's over, GG, I'm sure. But, you know, we do come back, and we do pretty well here. We're able to stabilize. So we get Minerva. Look at the top 2. Drop 1 to trash, put 1 on top. Ditch a Gujin, because at this point, we're not really worried about blocking or slowing it down, especially when it's that big. And then I'm sitting here like, okay, that thing does a lot of damage. I got to figure this out. Because we can't let it... I mean, we could let it check a base, because I think I had another one in hand, but point is that we want to slow it down or just start taking things away from him. So we decide to put the Mikazuki on there, ping ourselves, ping it, which sizes us up. We throw the 4 damage into the body, and then we clean up. Not bad. I mean, you know, I'm sitting on 2 resources. It'd be cool to hand dump, or excuse me, 3 resources. It'd be cool to hand dump and do stuff, but, like, again, we're controlling. He's got 4 cards in hand. He either has to stop and refuel because he's playing blue, or he's got to drop more units, and we just have to respond. So he drops, that's pretty much the green Rezel. I can't remember the card name off the top of my head, but it's a 4 attack, 3 HP, and then we go Widespread Annihilation, one of my new favorite cards from this set. Kills all level 4 or lower. He said, good thing I didn't commit because I know you play it. Your opponents knowing you play this card is really nice because it tells them to slow down around level 6. And it, like, obviously if a deck slows down, that's better for my deck, right? I want to get into my bigger units and do all this other stuff. Could he have aggressed there and dropped his whole hand? Probably, but probably not the best. He plays Show of Resolve, he draws 2, he plays another Nemo, and we're back on to putting the pressure, and I gotta respond. For 2, Adapt, and for 4, Gujin, we ping it off the board. I was gonna drop my 2 pings on the Adapt, we're just shortcutting here a little bit. And again, dude, I love the Tekkadan lower end so much in the Gundam trading card game because there's just so much interaction. Besides it being my favorite IP, obviously, from the Gundam series, but it's just so good. Like, it just wants to fight the low end stuff. And now that we have access to strike freedom, we now have like a really strong top end. playing Purple White last season got really scary when you saw things like Neo Zeong and all these other big boss monsters because Lupus just couldn't compete. But, I mean, Strike Freedom can just bottom deck a single body, which is great. Here we go. We're showing it off. First, we're going to do the deploy. This is why I don't like shortcutting pilots under units. We select our 2. We link the Kira. We swing. You have nothing to bot deck. We pop. I draw. Strike Freedom, keeping cards in your hand since whenever GDO5 released. I was going to name a calendar date, but I could not recall. And this feels really good because now we're keeping Gujin up. We know he can't like really lay us down or do anything too aggressive. But I don't know that. I'm assuming that. That's how that turn passed. I was like, we're fine. There's no way he links 5 times, Yugs. No. He does some other stuff. This is cool because this is another great showcase of another cool card we got in GDO5. So he does the double gun tank. You can tell he doesn't want to play a whole bunch of stuff out of his hand because I'm in his head. I'm living here rent-free, and he thinks I might have like another widespread annihilation. But he's thinking about it. That's why he's lining up his resources. But again, you play it once, and like you're playing mind games. It's like, do I hand dump? I don't know, do you? Because Strike Freedom here just gets value on the small bodies. It doesn't matter. He goes Reggie, and then the Rezel. Or not the Reggie. Yeah, not the Reggie, but like the unit he played before that linked with it. So now he's got a lot of units, and I'm sitting here going, okay, got to figure this out. Fatal Strike, the Rezel looking thing. Florist, dude. Pop the gun tank, link the Mikazuki. We're going to put the ping on the big body. Watch this. I love this turn. Swing the Florist. Yeah, swing the Florist. We're going to pop the gun tank again. The second one. Yep. And now we've opened up the shields once again. Now we're the aggressor. We swing the Strike Freedom. We absolutely swing the Strike Freedom. Swing it. Yeah. No? Yes? What was I thinking of? What was there to think about here, Zeke? You swing the body. Body do good. Throw the weight around. It's a big unit. Yep. We swing, and then we're declaring that we're going to bot deck it, so we got to ditch 2 cards. We get rid of an adapt and a base. At this point, I feel pretty comfortable protecting the base that we have, and we need to get to other things, but I've only got 2 cards in hand. And I spent my last 2 for the Barbatos. I almost passed leaving 2 up, and I was like, well, no, I can force this out. And again, this is really good, because I'm also threatening that if I get a ping on this Barbatos, I can just draw even more. So just being down to 1 card in hand isn't necessarily bad, especially with how wide and how big these units are. No matter what he decides to swing into, I'm taking something in return. But he does play a really interesting card in this list. He's got the new Gundam, the blue one from G Generation. And it's got this thing where like if there's 3 rested cards on the field, it can attack twice. So it's a double attacker. And it's a big stat line too. So linked with Camille, which is what he does here, because all it cares about is the G Generation trait, it gets to lay something down. So I was like, oh, cool. And then because it's attacking and linked, it gets to restand. So it throws 8 damage on the Gujin. It takes 3 in return. And then it throws the 8 attack at the Strike Freedom. I totally forgot that there's even a card combo for G Generation. So the fact it's throwing around 8 attack and it just really helps clean up a wide board is really interesting. I play another Strike Freedom. I pick Florist and Barbatos. I swing there. I don't have a ping, but I get the draw because it checked a shield. We swing the Florist. Boom. I actually draw the Kira right here off that draw. We link, draw 1, swing. It's over. GG, Gil. That G Generation list is fun, but this blue-purple Strike Freedom Tekkadan list is dope. All right, on to the next round. Fractal versus me. Fractal's an interesting dude, man. He really likes his Green-White Academy list. I'll let you guys know right now, I lose this one hand over fist. And I'll tell you when and where it happens, because I lost this pretty early, and I didn't really recognize it until I went back and watched the replay, but I got so in my head after the last game. So he plays this little gun node dude, and the way this guy works is during his turn if it's destroyed, he gets an EX resource, which is cool. Because again, this Green-White Academy list wants to use EX resources to do a bunch of fancy stuff. This is one of the Gundam aerials or Lifriths, I think, that like if you use an EX, you're able to get a draw or something on one of the command cards. We Fatal Strike the gun node off. Again, Fatal Strike, not having to interact with the unit and just get at a unit is so good. I love doing it so much. That one card's only got 2 HP left. And our hand was pretty good here. Again, it gets into this weird thing with this deck where the blue-purple list, I feel like does really good into aggressive decks, but it's like a weird switch up when it gets into taller decks or like a mirror match. Cool, we hit the Fatal Strike from the shield, so we're able to put 1 damage on that Gundam, and now it's only got 1 HP left, and it is sideways. Meanwhile, I have to watch out for the Udyr, because if that decides to swing into a unit, it has Breach. We play Isaribi, willing to catch the Breach, not really an issue, and we drop Gujin. So now we're kind of shielded up. I feel like I should have probably swung the Adapt here, just to pressure and put 2 damage on. I played the Isaribi, like I should have tapped it down and just got rid of the EX. I don't know what I was thinking. That was probably one maneuver I wish I did a little differently. He plays Michaelis. He plays another gun node dude. Michaelis is online, so he does have the extra boost from the commands in trash. I think I hit him with all 3 Fatal Strikes here. Again, dude, Fatal Strike will just clean stuff up. Yep, another one. Fatal Strike. Boom. Get rid of the Michaelis. I don't want to have to interact with these low-hanging cards if I don't have to with my units, and I just want to outvalue by, like, staying wide and consistent. So here I go. Now I decide to do Isaribi, swing. Kept my resources, figuring out my life, because I'm like, I should have done that last turn, but here I am. And I play the new blocker, and this is where I think I messed up. I should have swung here just to put pressure and make him play into me. But I don't know why I didn't do it. Like, I really don't. The other thing, too, that trips me up is he ditches one of these Academy cards that's like, if you use an EX resource, you can reduce the damage on, like, a body or 2 by, like, 4. And after I saw him ditch it to trash, I assumed he had another one. I don't think he had another one all game. But I was in my head like, man, I can't take value trades. Anything I swing into, he's going to, like, minus them, and I'm not going to be able to do anything. So I was not having a good time living in my own head when it came to this stuff, and it was really frustrating. Swings this guy, boom, let it happen. What can you do? He gets an EX, and I'm like, that's fine. Yeah, this card. That card he just kind of like held up for a minute, the girl with the blonde hair. She just reduces damage. It just makes interaction on this deck list sometimes so weird. Usually what I try to do is I try to ping stuff down so that if I value trade, even with the reduction, maybe I still take it out with a bigger unit. But it was just like really weird. I like wasn't sure what to do about it. That card he played allows it to swing into an active unit. I think he goes for Gujin here. Yeah, and then he plays another one, and then he reduces it. There you go. Then he tucks it. So I was like, what is this card combo going on? What is this? And obviously he's running out of cards in hand. It's green-white. It wasn't the Breach that was scary. It was just that reduction. But like ever since I saw it, I was like, he's got another one in hand. He has to have it. And you're going to notice where like I just kind of stopped swinging and I just let Fractal completely control the game. And again, it's just like I'm playing with new cards. I'm like overreading things. A lot of it's like 80% is like the same deck. But I'm also looking for like new and interesting lines on how to get around things or just what I should do differently to kind of like prolong the game. And I just wasn't sure. I even boosted Isaribi here because I really thought something was happening and he was tapped out. And I like sat there and breathed and I was like, okay, I'm literally living in my own head and paying him rent. And I live here. This is my house. I was just not having a good time at this point. I was like, okay, I don't think Fractal's beating me. I think I'm beating me. So if anybody's ever had that mental state, I get it. It's not fun. I tend to play my cards in my deck in that way. And it's just like, it's just not fun being here. But I remember this feeling of dread constantly where I'm like, he's just going to play that card again. And then I just don't do anything. It's got high maneuver, so I can't really do anything here. It's able to take the base. And in all my games for this Saturday, I saw Lupus 0 times. So it was really interesting figuring out like how to play these lines without seeing Lupus. And we get to this other thing too, where like if you notice the levels on the board, Widespread Annihilation isn't going to clean up anything here. And we hit him with all 3 Fatal Strikes, so like we outvalued per body in terms of what we were trying to do, and we didn't let those bodies swing into shield. So like defense-wise, we're good. We're chilling. But now he's got a unit with high maneuver. We're not trading well into certain things, and if we turn sideways on that Ferric or on that Udyr, he's going to be able to check shields by taking our bodies. And so it just gets really weird. What I end up doing is I link again, and I just get rid of the aerial with nothing but pings, and that felt so weird. I was also figuring out where I wanted the Mika, and based on all those breach units, I was like, okay, Mika actually can't go under adapt because adapt can't break base. I was like, we're actually going to put it over here. And again, it's local gameplay, like looking at cards, putting it down. Obviously, if this was a tournament setting, I would have let it ride. But since it's locals, I was like, I'm actually going to put it on Gujin because I can't see this turn lasting if I don't. That's the Demi Trainer that when it swings, it's able to like turn another Academy unit, able to swing at a level 3 or lower, and all of our guys are level 4 or higher, so that's not really going to do anything right now. But he's figuring out what he wants to do if he swings, and I decided to block it because it's like one of the only blockers I have that actually can and not die and take everything to the shield area. But he's got these other breach units where I'm like, okay, this is going to hurt. Like, and Fractal's only 1 card in hand, and I'm sitting here like, I'm not in a good place. But he takes it out, and I'm like, cool, like, I'll let him do it, not a big deal. We see Flores hit the trash, doesn't really help us in this matchup, so that's okay, it's not a big deal. Barb to trash is a little different. Kind of wish that stayed, but oh well. And then he's got this 1 card in hand, and like I should have just pedaled down and I should have took some trades, but I just stopped swinging. Like, watching this back is so surreal. It's so crazy. I'm like, come on, Zeke, like, take those bodies, get rid of that stuff. You got so many cards in hand, like, you're fine. Nah, dude, I was doing some weird stuff. I was like, yeah, I'll pressure base, I guess. Yeah, I just didn't want to swing at that body. I just thought he had the 1 resource up because he was going to do the thing. And then I was like, cool, get this widespread out of my hand. At least I can take down that card and then pass. And then I let him eat here, and I think this is where he drops the aerial. Yeah, so this is the searching aerial. And I forgot he played this, because again, like I just don't play into Fractal's deck all that much. Really don't see green-white stomping around a whole lot. And this is still just like primarily a GDO 4 list with like Kit Bash of like some starter deck cards and some other pieces. I remember too, we went over this list and I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. Change these couple things. I think you got it. And sure enough, I don't know if he made the changes or not, but I'm over here playing as if he did. I'm over here messing up. He drops another body, and then I think he passes. No, he does swing. He does swing here. Then when he swings, I go, oh no, I've got to clean up 3 bodies. I've only got 2 shields. This is a problem. And every time that guy swings with Elon on that card, he gets to redirect the damage. So if I block it, it just swings into aerial, and we see one of our 3 Lupuses in there. This deck profile is on 3 Lupus, 3 Strike Freedoms. Still don't know if I'm super cool with that as of right now, but again, my ratios have changed quite a bit compared to August 1st when this stuff was recorded. You can just see I went from in control to being controlled, and it's just like the worst feeling. But hey, man, everybody needs to take an L sometimes from something random just to get the point across. This was mine for that day. And then like I went home and I started like changing the ratios and twiddling with stuff. I was like, I'm gonna never lose to that deck again. I was so motivated. Cool. So we do Strike Freedom. We get to select 2 on deploy. I'm picking the Hyakurin as well as the Gujin. I think I picked Gujin. Yeah, and like I didn't swing the Gujin, so I was like, what am I doing? Like what is my life? I'm like, cool. Graze pass. And then, like, no matter what, I was dead. He had another link. I was like, yeah, we didn't see a Soletta this whole time, so I had a feeling it was coming up. Decoy versus me. Good old-fashioned Londo Bell versus my weird Kit Bash of a blue-purple Tekken list at this point. I will say this was very eye-opening. This is like one of the first times I got to play into Londo Bell. And I don't think his list was like 100% either. I think he's missing a couple pieces, or he's experimenting with Penelope. Because we just saw some of the Gen Con lists and we're like, okay, like Penelope tech kind of makes sense because it does give you that boost on all your small stuff. But make no mistake, Londo Bell is just aggro low end stuff with new Gundam to like hopefully just push you over the edge and kind of get you where you need to go. I set up damage counters because I'm like, oh, silly goose, I cleaned up. This is also after locals. Decoy here agreed to play me, and we're just kind of like hanging out and having fun. But I need more data, right? Like when I build a deck, all I want to do is consume just a bunch of matches into weird stuff. Because I'm trying to see like, what is my deck doing well? What is my deck not doing well? And I think this highlighted a lot of my decisions why I'm on the current ratios that I'm sitting on right now. Because I was like, yeah, man, I was like, this is not fun. Usually I'm pretty good about like getting around the aggro situation. I really need like a particular hand, but I feel like purple can do it pretty well. Fatal strikes, a whole bunch of pinging, value trading, linking on the low end, right? But man, this Londo Bell stuff is just so frustrating. The Rick kind of expected it. But now we go to level 4. I can't remember if I did Fatal Strike here or not, so I guess we'll kind of watch it together and figure it out. I know, I scrubbed the videos, but then like I don't get to sit down and do commentary for like a full week, so sue me. I have the Hyakurin out. I think I'll go Hyakurin to the 2-drop. No, okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm looking for other stuff here, I believe. Yeah, because I'm trying to keep the link around. Yep. Cool. Get rid of that. Sweet, swing into that. And then I put pressure here because I want him to try and play my way. But I also size up the Isaribi because I am ready to take the breach damage if needed. And I was like, cool, how much was that unit? I got to put 3 on. Put 3 on the adapt. So the adapt's sitting with 1 HP. We could obviously get double gun tanked here. We could get a whole bunch of stuff, but he doesn't. He plays this busted base called Recallum, which reduces damage if you tap it, select something, reduces damage by 1 on a Londo Bell unit. But yeah, he takes the bait for the adapt, which is good. I'm like, cool, keep playing into me. He plays the bird mode, aka this weird thing Londo Bell gets for ramp. And he's got 2 Londo Bell cards in trash, now 3. So like if he hits new Gundam, I'm sitting here like, oh goodness gracious, I have to like actually be ready for it. What do we do here? What did I spend? Was it Gushin? No, Florus. Yeah. Yep, Florus and Grays. Because I'm like, cool, I guess we become the aggressor best we can here. God, Florus is such a good card. I like can't get over how much I like that card. It is a shame there is no holographic or plus version of that card. Do you hear me, Bandai? I will not rest well because I don't get to max bling my deck. It's like one of the only cards that's not shiny. Okay, he plays that card. He's able to check the top card, decide to keep it on top or put it to bottom. Really good, too, because like all this deck's trying to do is filter, find your link combo for your Amuro stuff, but then I get a surprise. He's playing Strike Freedom stuff in this list, and I about throw the table across the room. This is a surprise. I had no idea, but I do think it's pretty interesting in the list to slow me down at least. Not having a good time. Swing with the 2, he doesn't block, and I was like, hey, you could block there. And he's like, nah, I'm not going to. I'm like, okay, I'm just dead. So I was like, show of resolve for 3, draw 2, another 3. I'll play my own, but the shiny version. Otari is such a good card. Otori. I don't know. I'm not sure how to say it. Strike Rouge, man. Thing is sick. I like the stat line with Kira on it. Like 5-6 body, you can just trade into a resting grandpa and then still be alive with 1 HP. Pfft, say less. I love that. Obviously, you got to wait till turn 5, but, you know, if they're linking on you turn 4 and you pass over, usually I'm there. I was tempted to play Shiden, the Tekkaden blocker, but, Again, like, if you don't see Lupus in this list, what's it matter? Like, having a second link is sick, though. Last box set, I was so used to just playing Mika and Zahart that I forgot that linking is, like, really cool. So yeah, 2 links this time. Not just Mikazuki. He plays 5. There it is. The Boogeyman, new Gundam. And this is kind of like unfortunate because I have a lot of bodies here that he can target where he just outvalues anything he wants to slam into. So of course he's going to pick the blocker. He'll take the 3. and then he'll heal 2 right away. And then this isn't once per turn, so he can just keep eating. And then he swings into this. He heals the 2. I got a Minerva, thank goodness. But then I'm sitting here like, okay, like obviously I'm going to try and swing into it with the Florist or something. Because it's a 7/7 stat line. Florist with the 1 damage on it right now could take it. But I got to get around that, the blocker that he played. And this is where like it's really frustrating. Because now I'm getting controlled out of like my own element, so to speak. I also think my hand at this time was just like dog water. I was just like, I should probably quit. But I was going to try and play out of it. But yeah, this ratio list got changed. Oh yeah, 100%. Because I was sitting here like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way. I was like, we're not in a good spot. I don't know if ditching that was any good, but I was able to get rid of one of the bodies. I feel like I should have played Gujin there, maybe. But I don't know, man. I don't know if that would have gotten me anything really worth it. Because I want to swing into new really bad. I just don't think he lets it happen. Yep, adapt. Ping that. Another one. Kira here. And then I was like, cool, if I put Kira on it, if he does take the block, Florist would still be alive, and then New still has to deal with it. So, I don't know. That was interesting. I thought that was probably like my only play to get around it. Oh, man, this part does not feel good. The suspense before they start dropping other things that are a problem. Ay. Not okay. Yeah, he plays Strike Freedom on me. I'm like, dude, what? So Strike Freedom selects itself and Strike Rouge. Swing Strike Rouge, puts the 3 on. Doesn't swing the Strike Freedom, and I'm like, that's interesting. But it's also big body, so like, what am I going to do here? If I don't see my Strike Freedom, and if I can't clean up the small things, like, GG. And also, again, like, this is where I would love to see Lupus, because we could at least clean up the small guy, not worry about it, get rid of the other thing, or start diving at shields again. But yeah, not seeing Lupus in any of my games this day was just so rough. It's such a good, like, power play to see Lupus on curve, blow stuff up, reel stuff in, watch them replay units back out, and then, like, hit them with widespread. And then just try to get them to stay really thin so Strike Freedom can start bottom decking things. It's such a good dynamic, but we just didn't see it. And I think it was at this point, I was like, cool, we're going to play the 2 blockers. I'm trying to figure out where all my damage goes. Yeah, I think we just pile it on the adapt, because, like, what else am I to do? Do I take, no, I don't attack again. Oh, what are you doing, Zeke? I wanted to keep some small guys up, because I was like, well, if he strikes here and he does a second strike, like, I'm just in a world of hurt. Yeah, he does it again. Oh, dude, it's the worst. Yep, selects the strike and the blocker. He's just trying to close it. Keeping the low-level stuff up, though, was a good play, because he can't bottom deck the Gujins, but I'm also like, man, I don't feel good. This did not go well for me. Watching it back just hurts. The ego is wounded. I'm bruised. I hope you guys know this is how I am, like, actually IRL when I play cards. If I'm, like, comfortable with the person, I'm just chatty Cathy. I'm just talking stuff out, trying to figure out what to do, not do. Man, this board state sucks for me. It's so bad. New Gundam sent me back a little bit. I go Minerva. I even explained to him, too, I was like, I think here I have to greed, like, aggressively, or there's just no way I'm getting out of it. And what I'm trying to do is I'm looking for a boss monster of, like, any caliber to just kind of, like, bail me out of this. But he's got 3 cards in hand, dude, and he's counting his trash. I'm like, oh, I'm dead if he has another New Gundam. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So we play our own Strike Freedom, and we're like, sick. We can do it. But we don't. We don't, viewer. We don't get out of this, unfortunately. I really like my new ratios. I can't get over how much of a difference it makes. We'll talk about it too. I know I talked about it a lot, but I'm still, like, ironing stuff out. It'll get a deck list video when it's ready, but I don't want to do it ahead of time. I also need like way more data. I'm hoping that this weekend, when you're actually watching this video, I'll be at Locals playing a whole bunch with different people to play into stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, we do Isaribi. Yeah, this is where I was like, cool, I got to greed. I got to see what's here. Maybe it's the card I need or don't want. I got to boost stuff, so it doesn't matter. Swinging at shields. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like, we're so dead. We're so wrapped up. Put a bow on it. Draw. We're like, oh, everything's just stupid. We can't win here. Like, we can swing there, do whatever. The best we can bottom deck is this stupid little 1-drop. And it's like, it's good. Like, if you have the 1-drop, play it next to something to kind of get like strike freedom off your back because it forces you to bot deck the lowest unit. However, it's just like, it's frustrating, man. Yeah, you're going to block as they should. And I was like, okay. I was like, I think I should have just swung. Who cares? I should have swung. Also, I should have swung into the strike. That was the other like bad problem here. I should have like contested the strike, made it really weird or difficult to figure out what I was doing, and I didn't do that either. But again, the hand was just so not what I needed by the time I needed it. It was rough. Swings takes everything from me because I am as good as dead here. And he swings, and he swings. And then he's got a link in the pocket because he's sadistic. But it was a lot of fun, Decoy. Thank you very much for playing with me. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.